man, my chest started tightening up, and I was just freaking out because I just knew I was having a heart attack.
Right.
I mean, there was no doubt in my mind.
It feels like it.
I'm going to die.
Yeah. Hey, good evening, everybody. I am Chuck Rogers, and a licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Keith Dunn, and I am a network engineer.
And together, we are Tabletop Coffee, and each week we talk about various issues, try to do life, right?
Yeah, being bold and never, ever bitter.
And tonight we're going to talk about what is a panic attack? What is panic disorder? Am I having a panic attack? Stay tuned. We'll talk about it and see if maybe you've ever had one.
Okay, great start.
Okay.
Woohoo!
All right.
Oh, so I know that we're talking about a panic attack tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start this one out because I've actually had one.
Yeah, I didn't know that till about 2 or 3 weeks ago. You were telling me. Well, what happened with yours?
Oh, it was terrible. I used to have really high anxiety. And it got so bad that I would just lay in bed and I would ball up and I'd just be like, I don't want stuff going on with my day. It's you never know what's going to happen, and you're just frightened of everything that's going on. It's crazy, and my hands would shake. And one time I got so bad that, man, my chest started tightening up, and I was just freaking out because I just knew I was having a heart attack.
Right.
I mean, there was no doubt in my mind.
It feels like it.
I'm going to die.
Yeah.
So I went to this little med choice place and went in there, and they hooked me up to everything, put me on the EKG,
right,
and ran the little bars and checked everything over, and they said, well, it doesn't show anything, but we want to send you over to the ER just to be sure. So I went over to the ER, and again, whenever you think you're having
Chest
a heart
pain.
problem, man, they take you right in. But they put me on the EKG, and everything showed that I was okay.
That's good.
So that was good.
Yeah.
But then they thought, well, let's go ahead and have some blood work done. So they sent me over to another area in Centra, and I got some blood work done. And they knew it was probably within 45 minutes. They had run all the tests on the blood work, which I thought was amazing that they did it that fast. But they checked and they said, no, you're definitely not having a heart attack. And then it came around that, I must be having an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
That's what they figured.
That's exactly what it was.
I'm telling you, man.
It's frightening.
It was very, very frightening. I know I freaked Lisa out as well through that process.
Yeah, I'm sure she was terrified as well.
Yeah,
well, let's talk about that because it's really, really common, and I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. We've been talking about it.
Right.
And it's been bubbling up for me in my private practice as well. So let's talk about the symptoms.
Okay.
What were you feeling physically?
Well, physically, I was just shaky, and I had a tightness in my chest.
Right.
And, I know that some people get out of breath and things like
Shortness
that.
of breath.
I did feel that to some degree, but not like I was, but I definitely was on edge. That is for sure.
Yeah. What about your heart?
The heart was going like crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Any tingling in your body?
No, I didn't have any tingling.
All right. Any other sensations in your abdominal area?
No, I don't remember anything like that, but I was in so much pain in my chest, I could have had other things going on.
And you thought you were maybe going to die.
Man, I was going to die. Yeah.
So a lot of times people will report the same symptoms that you've had, especially with the shortness of breath or the increased heart rate or the pounding of the heart.
Okay.
Will oftentimes report a tingling or a discomfort in some part of your body, tightness in your chest, abdominal pain or abdominal distress,
right?
A change in temperature. Maybe you'll get the chills.
Okay.
Maybe you'll feel hot, or you might even sweat.
Okay.
Sometimes people will report dizziness or maybe feel like they're choking inside.
Okay.
And one of the most common symptoms is what you talked about, I'm going to die. I think that I'm going to die.
Right.
Or in the old literature, it would talk about thoughts of impending doom. But now it just talks about, I think I'm going to die, or I kind of think I'm going crazy, or episodes of something called depersonalization or derealization.
Okay.
We won't go into what those really mean in this video, but basically it's kind of, I feel like I'm weirdly not myself, or it's an unreal situation.
Okay.
So there's about 13 of those symptoms, and you have to have at least 4 of those in order to meet the criteria for having a panic attack, which you did.
Oh, yeah. I definitely did. No
Now,
question.
interesting also, I was coming to work, I think 2 Wednesdays ago, maybe 3 Wednesdays ago, driving down Old Grays Mill Road. My phone goes off, and I could at the time, so I picked it up.
Okay.
I just, wasn't driving. I was driving hands-free to
Sure.
be legal in Virginia.
Yeah.
And
Just to make that known.
Yeah, please do. And it was a client, and she was going, I can't breathe. And I said to her, are you having any other symptoms?
Right.
And she was so distressed that she had trouble identifying other symptoms.
I can understand that. I can relate to that.
Yeah. She said, I had a shaky hand, and I asked her through some of the other ones, and she was really having difficulty to tell. I said, okay, here's what you do. Okay. So here's the big deal. One intervention that you can do in order to be able to defeat panic disorder. And I would say be able to defeat it almost 100% of the time.
Right.
I said, I want you to put your phone down. And she was at work and she was outside.
Okay.
And I said, I want you to do 20 jumping jacks.
Oh.
Hands over your head as fast as you can, and then pick up your phone and talk to me.
Okay.
And so she said, okay. And the phone goes silent. I'm just kind of waiting. And she got back on the phone, and her heart rate was down, and her breathing was much better. It wasn't perfect yet, but I could already tell. And interestingly enough, she put what she had to do was she wanted to go to her car so that she could do the jumping jacks. So she ran up a small hill to get to her car, then did jumping jacks.
Okay.
And her heart rate was down and her breathing was down after all that.
Okay, so she went through all of that physical exertion, and instead of it raising that, it actually
went down.
Lowered it.
Yeah. So the treatment of choice that you want to do right away is begin vigorous cardiovascular activity.
Okay.
Get by yourself somewhere and begin to do jumping jacks. Begin to do vigorous running in place. Jumping jacks really work well because it gets your hands above your head.
Right.
And almost always it will snap it and make it go away. It's really cool.
That's a great idea. And, I wonder if part of that is actually just getting your mind off of the process or whatever you're going through that's causing that anxiety.
Yeah, that's part of it as well. Now, you can also do medication. You can also begin therapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay.
But just begin doing vigorous cardiovascular activity. Now, here's the thing. When I throw this out to my clients, what do you think might be some of the pushback to doing cardio? Why would they not want to do it?
Well, in my case, I would have been thinking I might have killed myself if I did cardio.
Yeah. And that's what you're thinking, but the exact opposite is actually true.
Okay.
Because you're afraid you're going to die, so what you do is you do things dead people can't do.
Okay.
You're never living more than when in a panic attack. You're breathing hard. You're breathing out carbon dioxide. You're breathing in oxygen.
Right.
Your heart is pumping. Your blood is flowing. You are a living, breathing, active, living machine. You can't die.
Yeah, because you've got so much stuff going on in your body at that time.
You and I will both one day die, but it'll never be from panic disorder.
Okay.
The other thing people complain about is, Chuck, how can I do cardio if I'm in a public place?
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
One lady I was encouraging to do this, she said, you don't understand, Chuck, I own a business. And she said, it's actually a cleaning business. And I have other ladies in the car with me. And she said, what if I'm driving down the highway? And I said, you pull your car over, you get out on the shoulder of the road, and you do vigorous cardiovascular activity.
Yeah.
She says, won't that be embarrassing? And I said, sure. So do you want to be embarrassed for 5 minutes, or do you want to suffer for the rest of your life?
Yeah, not only that, but the safety of it all, being in a car and going through that. I mean, because your faculties are not completely there while you're going through that process. So driving a car is probably not the best thing to do anyway.
Yeah. So I said, also, I would suggest that you share it with the other ladies. And, in Virginia, they're going to say, sweetie, you do what you have to do, because that's the way people in Central Virginia talk. Or they'll probably say, I've had to deal with it, or I know somebody who has.
Okay.
So it's really not that big a deal.
Sure.
You just go ahead and do your cardio and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So there you go. That's how to treat panic disorder.
Oh, man, that's fantastic.
It is.
Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. Hey, if you liked our content, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. That would make Keith very happy.
Oh, please, please, please. I'll be so happy. I'll put smiley faces up everywhere.
Yeah, make sure to like it too.
Yeah, be sure and click that bell too so you're notified of upcoming episodes.
Thanks, everybody.
Until next time. We are just rolling tonight.
We really are.
Now, you guys will have to let us know. We put some things in the back to deaden the sound. And Chuck was back there. He said he couldn't even hear me, so you'll have to let me know we deadened the sound so much.
Yes.
It's going to be so much better tonight.
Tons better.
So with that in mind, please be sure and subscribe and ding that bell so you're notified of the next episode, because who knows what will change at that time.
Yeah, make sure to like it too. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah, share it with your friends.